Hello student, let's start with the subject Mechanical Engineering Material. I think in our last session we learned about simple cubic structure, then body center cubic structure and face center cubic structure. Today we learn hexagonal close pack structure, that is HCP structure. Hexagonal close pack structure contains one atom at each corner of hexagon. If you see in a first diagram, there is one atom at the each corner of hexagon. Second is one atom each at center of two hexagon faces. If you see in a first diagram, there are two faces of hexagon. First is on a top side and second is on a bottom side. At the center of these two faces, each face contains one atom. Third is three atoms in the form of triangular midway between two basal plane. If you see in the first diagram, there are three triangular midways, and in between that midways, each triangular midway contain one atom. There are three triangular midway, so atom will be 3. So total number of atom in hexagonal close pack structure will be 1 at corner, 2 will be at the center of faces, that is at the top face and bottom face, and 3 atom will be at the midway of the triangular face. So total number of atom in a hexagonal close pack structure will be 6. As we already learned in above slide, that is total number of atom in hexagonal close pack structure will be 6. Now let's go for atomic packing efficiency of hexagonal close pack structure. As we already learned that total number of atom in hexagonal close pack structure will be 6. We have a formula for atomic packing efficiency, that is average number of atom per cell into volume of atom divided by volume of unit cell. We know very well that the atom will be in a spherical form, so that volume of atom, that is volume of sphere, will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now we have to find out the volume of unit cell, because we already learned that the average number of atom in a unit cell in case of HCP structure is 6. That's why in numerator, if you check this slide, we will write 6 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now we have to find out the volume of unit cell. For that, we have to consider the hexagonal close pack structure diagram. Now we will consider one of the hexagonal, that is TSRQPU, whose center will be C. If I want to find out the area of complete hexagon, first of all I have to consider one of the triangle and find the area of that triangle. When I am going to multiply by 6 with the area of triangle, I will got the complete area of hexagon. As you see in a B diagram, there is completely 6 triangle. So if I want to find out the area of that complete hexagon, I have to find out the area of one of the triangle, and I can multiply it by 6. When I multiply it by 6, I'll get the area of hexagon. Now I'm going to consider one of the triangle, that is PCQ. The area of PCQ is half into base into height. As you see in diagram, the sides are denoted as A. In a C diagram, the triangle will be PCQ instead of PRQ. Please make a note, it's a mistake. We have to consider a diagram or triangle PCQ. But in a figure, it shows PRQ. So make a note, it's a PCQ. Now, area of the triangle PCQ is half into base into height. As the sides are given as A and height is denoted as H. Now we have to find out the base. So it will be half into base, that is half into A, into height, that is H. But I want to formulate the entire answer in terms of A, so that I can easily find out the atomic packing factor. So H can be denoted as A sin 60. If I want to find out height, then what we will get? It's A sin 60. When I have to formulate, I'm going to formulate the entire area. It will be half into A sin 60. That is half A square sin 60. Now, if I want to find out the area of complete hexagon, I have to multiply it by using 6. So what will be the final answer, or what will be the area of the entire hexagon? That is 6 into half into A square into sin 60. Now I can divide it 6 by 2. So I'll get 3A square sin 60. Now the volume of unit cell will be area into height, because unit cell is where? In the diagram A. So we just find out the area of hexagon, not a volume of unit cell. So to find out the volume of unit cell, we have to multiply the area of hexagon by using height. Now height is denoted as a C in diagram A. So the volume of unit cell will be 3A square sin 60 into C. As you check, we have another relation, that is A is equal to 2 into R. Now corner atom touch to the center of atom on top and bottom face. So we can consider one relation, that is A is equal to 2R. Now we can replace R by using A by 2, because we have one other relation, that is average number of atom per unit cell into volume of atom, where our answer is 6 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. So we have to place the volume of unit cell in terms of R or in terms of A. So if I put A is equal to 2R, or either r is equal to a by 2, what we will get? Let's see. As we already learned, that is, in numerator we get 6 into 4 by 3 pi r cube. Now the volume of unit cell will be 3 a square sin 60 into c. Now if you start solving it, you get 3 get cancelled. Instead of 6 we get 2. After that, put r is equal to a by 2. When I am going to put r is equal to a by 2, in numerator there is a r cube. So obviously when we place r is equal to a by 2, we have to put bracket cube. When we will put bracket cube, it will be obviously a cube divided by 8. Now 8 and 8 get cancelled. So in numerator only pi into a will remain. In denominator, we already get 3a square sin 60 into c. Okay, so already in case of numerator, that is pi a cube remain, and in denominator pi a square sin 60 c remain. Now a cube and a square, only a will remain. So finally we get in numerator pi a and in denominator 3c sin 60. Okay, so after that we have to assume it's a basic relation, and we have to assume that relation, that is a by c ratio is 0.612 and sin 60 is 0.866. When these two value will put in this above equation, we get finally atomic packing factor is 0.74. Atomic packing efficiency is also known as atomic packing factor. So you have to remember the two main things, that is number of atom of unit cell in hexagon cone pack structure, closed pack structure will be 6, and the atomic packing efficiency or the atomic packing factor of HCP structure will be 0.74. Now we will going to study the types of microscope. There are two types of microscope. First is optical metallurgical microscope, and second is electron microscope. Now first of all we will check what is the necessity of microscope or what is the use of microscope. If you want to find out the grain size or check out the grain size and its shape, you have to use a microscope. Secondly, after providing heat treatment process or some external heating arrangement, the shape and size of microstructure or grain will definitely change. If you want to observe or find out the shape and size of such microstructure and grain, you have to use a microscope, that is metallurgical microscope. And third, mechanical and heat treatment of the alloys. If you want to find out, you have to use a metallurgical microscope. Now we will first see first microscope, that is optical metallurgical microscope. Now optical metallurgical microscope is completely based on the reflected light microscopy. The basic principle of optical microscope is what? The reflection of light. It works on reflection of light. Okay. Now metallurgical specimens are opaque to light. The sample must be illuminated by reflected light. The metallurgical microscope is therefore based on reflected light principle. Now we will see the actual working of optical metallurgical microscope. Here you check the diagram or the main working principle of the optical metallurgical microscope. As we already learned in a previous slide, that is completely based on reflection of the light coming from what? The specimen surface. Now if you check, the specimen is completely based on the floor or on a surface. We have to place it on a surface. After that, when we switch on the light rays coming from light source will come in a contact with the condensing system, that is collimating lens. When light rays come in a contact with collimating lens, they will follow the concentrated path. That's why if you check, the scatter rays from light source come in a contact with collimating lens, follow each and every path in a straight manner. After that, they will impact on a plain glass reflector. Because of reflection, the light rays come in a contact with plain glass reflector will be diverged and impact on specimen. Before that, we have to place two more collimating lens so that whatever rays reflected from glass will never get diverged. After reflection, they have to follow this single path and come in a contact with the specimen or workpiece. When a worker or laborer can check this reflection by using eyepiece or microscopic eyepiece, he will see the grain size and grain structure of material after providing either heat treatment process or at the normal temperature. So basically, optical metallurgical microscope is work under reflection of light coming from workpiece. In the next section, we will learn the different hardness testing machine.